Today's protests, by the way, in Boston come just 1 week after the deadly violence we saw in Charlottesville, Virginia, reigniting a national debate over Confederate monuments. Across the country, protests are being held to have them removed. This one in New Orleans, where hundreds came out to push for their removal. This as Duke University removed a statue of General Robert E. Lee early this morning after it was vandalized earlier this week in the Duke Chapel. Bryan Llenas joins us now with the very latest. And Bryan, it's a debate that doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon.
Kelly, it really does not look like it's going to end anytime soon. It's a conversation being had in cities and city councils between mayors and people in the streets. There are those like the president who say these statues and monuments should remain. They are a part of teaching history, but those opposed say the statues glorify slavery, oppression, and a painful past. In Memphis, University of Tennessee students today and others protesting, demanding the statue of Confederate General Nathan Bedford Forrest be pulled from a park at the center of campus, some even climbing the monument, attempting to cover it with a cloth. And in New Orleans today, protesters marched to Jackson Square and City Hall, demanding city leaders remove additional Confederate statues in the city. The city has already removed 4 Confederate monuments this year. And this morning, Duke University removed a carved limestone statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee from the entrance of the university's chapel. The statue was vandalized on Wednesday, and in a letter, Duke's president, Vincent Price, said in part, quote, "I took this course of action to protect Duke Chapel, to ensure the vital safety of students and community members who worship there, and above all, to express the deep and abiding values of our university. The removal also presents an opportunity for us to learn and heal." And tonight in Dallas, we will monitor a rally expected there demanding Confederate monuments be taken down, including a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee, Kelly, which was vandalized today and then cleaned up.
Well, Bryan, do we know what the majority of Americans feel about this issue?
You know, it might be surprising to some people, but the majority of Americans, based on a latest poll from Marison and NPR done 2 days after Charlottesville, shows that the majority of Americans, 62%, are for keeping Confederate statues and monuments where they are. 27% say they are for removing them, and 11% are unsure. Now, if you take a look at this map, since the violence last week, at least 9 communities from Durham, Birmingham, St. Petersburg have already removed statues. We saw in Durham, people actually toppled and 8 people were arrested. If you take a look at this next map, we've got nearly 24 communities who are now are in the process of considering perhaps removing their statues and monuments, including in Lexington, Kentucky, where the city council voted Thursday to remove really statues from their courthouse. And all in all, the question now is, how far does this go? There are 718 Confederate monuments in public spaces nationwide, 109 public schools, 80 counties, and 10 U.S. military bases are all named for Confederates. And this was part of the point that the president brought up. How far do we go, and how many conversations are going to be had in debates, hopefully not violence, as a result of this? This is more than just statues. We've seen this. This is the genesis of the statues, but obviously it's a conversation about race and much more.
Also about our history.
Exactly.
Which can be very complicated.
Very complicated.
And the conversation as well. Bryan Llenas, thank you.
Thank you.